You know, part of the perks I like about being a handyman is that you work in different locations every day.
Whether it's painting, drywall, or carpentry, Poway handyman Patrick Brady does it all. But he's also known as someone else.
Morning, this is Pat.
To the residents in his community, he is Trapper Pat.
I am a mom who noticed a baby rattlesnake.
And they've been relying on him to do what most people would not.
Make sure there's not one in there.
Catch rattlesnakes.
How you doing? Once everybody found out about it, everybody seemed to have the word Trapper Pat on the tip of their tongues all the time. I would go places and, hey, Trapper Pat. There he is.
He answers the calls day or night and prides himself on being where he's needed in a matter of minutes, all free of charge.
You know, I have to tell myself all the time, it's today the day you're going to get bit. And I tell myself, no, I'm not getting bit today. You know, I'm not going to put myself in a position that I'm going to get bitten. Did you want to check for some more?
But Brady doesn't believe rattlesnakes should be killed, preferring to relocate them nearby.
I don't want to kill something that's alive. I don't want to take its life just because of what it is. I mean, it's here for a purpose. He has a right to be here.
Stories of his brave endeavors echoed their way up to state government. In a letter, Assemblymember Brian Mainshine thanked him for his work. Ironically, Brady used the official envelope to write down the address to his next emergency rattlesnake call. From the beginning of the year, Brady noticed something interesting. Every snake call resulted in the removal of the northern Pacific rattlesnake, and only babies. He called the California Department of Fish and Wildlife to share his data. A lieutenant called him back, and that, he says, is when everything changed.
I said, Mr. Brady, you know, you need to cease and stop what you're doing right now because, you know, you're not qualified to be doing what you're doing, and you know, there's rules and regulations. You're breaking laws in California.
Fearing legal trouble, Brady stopped posting his stories on Nextdoor and social media. He took down his website and asked the community not to draw attention to him.
So there's a lot of things going on that suddenly came to a halt. And I felt bad because I felt like I was letting the public down.
So what are the laws when it comes to rattlesnakes? To begin with, it's perfectly legal to kill any rattlesnake found on your property.
No license, no permit, no authorization, nothing. Hit him with the flat part of the shovel, and that's going to do the job.
Captain Patrick Foy from the Department of Fish and Wildlife says when it comes to moving snakes in order to let them go, the law gets a little gray.
They never really accounted for the person who might think, I don't want to kill the rattlesnake, I want to remove it and take it someplace else and let it go. So that was never really clearly made apparent in the regulation, in the legislation. So it's you know, now here we are today. Now we're having a different conversation.
California Fish and Game stipulates you can take up to 2 live rattlesnakes per day with no license required. In order to release any captured snakes, you need to have the department's written approval. In most cases, this means applying for a scientific collection permit, not a necessarily swift and easy process.
Yeah, if I could have rewritten that law, I probably would have tweaked it a little bit to make some changes to accommodate that type of request.
Captain Foy says there is something else to consider.
I would not call an unlicensed, unbonded, uninsured person to my house to remove a rattlesnake. Because if that person gets bit, you're going to own it. That's my formal advice, and my informal, my wink, wink, nod, nod, don't do it.
But the options are few and almost always mean destroying the snake. Some pest control companies charge hundreds of dollars to answer rattlesnake calls, unaffordable for many.
They do charge high fees, but they are paying for that insurance. They are paying for that training.
We prioritize rattlesnake calls as a priority 1 for us.
Chief Bill Ganley says the San Diego Humane Society answered almost 1,000 rattlesnake calls in the past 6 months, spread over 13 cities. Their team is trained to catch and release nearby.
So it goes to the top of our triage, and we respond within half an hour.
Considering the volume of rattlesnake calls in the county, he considers Brady to be an ally.
He responds quickly. Every time I've seen it on Nextdoor, people say, yeah, he was right here and he took care of it. And I believe he's an advocate of, humanely handling and, releasing the snake. That's a good thing in our book.
Pat Brady's case has sparked internal discussion within the Department of Fish and Wildlife. They told KPBS with the special permit, there could be a path for him to continue, which might include working closely with them to find suitable places for release. How easy that path is still remains to be seen. Maya Trabulsi.
Doing a good thing, it is doing a good thing for the community.
KPBS News.